Well, today I get to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects. It's called the dumbing down of America. That's right, folks. It's surprising how in almost every facet of life, how our whole life is being dumbed down. But today I'm going to pick on one of my favorite areas of where we're being dumbed down at. How about the news media? You know, it used to be in the days gone by that our news agencies reported the news. In other words, they spent time going out, finding the stories, reporting the facts. You know, kind of like what Joe Friday used to say on Dragnet. Just the facts, ma'am. Nothing but the facts. Well, that day has long gone. And today, what we're experiencing is what I call creative journalism. In other words, most journalism today, and I'm afraid to say that all of the news agencies today, all the alphabet agencies, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, I'll get it right, and my own beloved Fox has a little bit of slant and bias to the reporting, but some actually have planned, shaped reporting in order not to report the news, but to shape public opinion. Can I say that again? To shape public opinion. Oh my goodness. You mean there's some mind manipulators out there that want to control our thinking? Oh yes, there is. Because you see, if they can control your thinking, then they'll control your response and your corresponding actions. So much of today's news has become a fine craft. But you see, the approach is this. We're dealing with what I call the elite intelligentsia that think that they are so smart and we on the other side of the screen are just so dumb that we need to have somebody to help us to form an opinion because we're not intelligent enough to think things through and come out with a proper opinion. Most of these people have taken their educational skills and have honed them and used them as a highly skilled weapon to form public opinion today. How many elections are won or lost by the way that news agencies are reported? Or God forbid to stop and think about what is not even being reported to help shape public opinion. Let me digress by giving you a few examples. How many of you remember in January of this year, 2012, the reporting of the mass demonstration in Washington, D.C., supporting the right to life issue? Anybody remember seeing that on the news? Or how about more recently, in February, end of February of 2012, how many of you saw the reporting of all the thousands of United States veterans, men and women who served this country, who marched on Washington to demonstrate, who stood in front of the White House and turned their back on the White House and gave a backward salute, protesting this nation's and this administration's position on how they're handling the military and their involvement in world issues? How many of you saw any reporting on that? Or here's one that hits really close to home. The price of gasoline. Over $3.60 a gallon. How many of you know that in January of 2009, that the price of gasoline was $1.67 a gallon? During this current administration, the price of gasoline has gone up over $2 a gallon. Nobody's screaming about that, but what about the former administration? All the tax that they took and pot shots that came their way when gas was $2 a gallon less. So where is the balanced reporting here? I really challenge you today to wake up, smell the coffee, and start using your mind. Stop letting people telling you what you ought to think and how you think. But you see, here again, here is another place where the media has you. They know that in general, you're too involved. You're just too busy. Or you're just too lazy to search out the facts. That's why they can report some of the things that they do and get away with it, because they know that we, the public, will not hold them accountable. Because in order to hold them accountable, we've got to research and find out the truth ourselves. So you say, okay, Bishop Coleman, where do we find truth? Well, you know, you've got to go to different sources and find out what other people are saying in other reporting. Somewhere in there you might get a grain of truth, maybe a grain of balance to help balance the attack and the bid for your mind and your thinking. We're living in crucial times today, people. We're having other people telling us how to think and what to think. Because after all, remember, they think they're smarter than what we are. And we're just too dumb and too incapable of forming our own opinion. So they want to help us out. Well, let me tell you something today. God created you for something a whole lot better than that. We're shaped in the image and likeness of God. The ability of God is on the inside of every believer. And you need to take time to ferret out what truth is, because God's counting on you to display His heart for America and the world today. Remember the words of Jesus? He didn't say that the truth would set you free. He said, knowing the truth will set you free. Discover the truth. First of all, it begins in God's Word, but take the time it's needed to find out what's going on around about us. I've got one thing to say to us. Wake up, America, before it's too late. Until the next time, may God bless you.